Hey everybody, we're going to be talking today about when you should call a professional to help you fix your guitar. Over the years, we learn as guitar players to change strings, to do some minor adjustments, but when is it that we should actually call someone who's a professional to help us make some of those adjustments or those dream adjustments that we want for our guitar? We can try to do those things by ourselves, but what we find out typically is that we are players. We're not usually the ones who do the repairs. Now, there are some folks out there, and you might be one of them, who are exceptional, and what you do is great. You have the ability to play, you can fix guitars, you can do all kinds of things. Your knowledge is just amazing. But for most of us, we just know how to play. And there are certain things that we probably should not put our hand to. And that's when we should probably call in a professional. So I asked Dave Onorato of Dojo Guitar Repair via Instagram. We were having a messages together. I asked him the question, what is it that is maybe the top things that you encounter when you are receiving a guitar from a player that has tried to fix it themselves, and what's the most common thing that you encounter when they probably should have called you a professional? He is an amazing guitar luthier. Luthier just basically means a guitar specialist or skilled craftsman out of Atlanta, Georgia. And he was kind enough to answer my questions. So I'm going to show it to you right here. This is the Instagram feed. So here are the top things that he was describing that he has to unfix whenever he gets a guitar. There's 8 in total, but there's a couple bonus things. The first thing that he said for us to do, to leave to the professionals, is leave all the electric work to a pro. That means specific wiring or certain things that need to be changed or augmented that are kind of beyond the skill set of just simply a simple solder or a simple maintenance. The next is fretwork. The way that your guitar feels is based on the shape of the neck, but also the way that those frets are set. So that fretwork is very, very detailed. We typically think in terms of inches or centimeters or even millimeters. They're down to the thousandths or the 10,000th place in placement. They can get things dialed in for you in the repair. Another thing that Dave said was refinishing or fixing a crack. I have a guitar that has a dent in the headstock from a cymbal, and I've wanted to try to fix it, but I'm afraid to do it because I know that if I do, I'm just going to mess it up. I also have on one of my guitars, I'll show you here, there's plenty of dents because my guitars do get played a lot. I play out a lot. I play at my church and also some other events. And, with travel, things just kind of happen. So I'm not going to even dare to try to fix that. The next thing he suggested was the new nut installation. I have had a nut actually on the headstock of one of my cheaper guitars. I actually tried to fix it, and I did a pretty good job, but I used some crazy glue. They have a specialized glue that they use in order to be able to set it properly. That is something that you want to send to a professional, because if you don't, that could really mess up the intonation on the guitar. The next thing that he suggested was acoustic bridge shaving or lowering. This is a really interesting thing that I've seen on the internet. Some people have said that you can do this very easily. You can. I don't believe you can. And I think Dave is absolutely correct to bring it into a specialist for them to be able to lower, get that bridge exactly the way that they want, especially for acoustic guitars. If you're going to shave, either that would be a piece of plastic or bone. New tuners. Changing out tuners is something that we can do, but if the holes don't exactly match, basically what Dave was saying, that he gets guitars a lot that have a tuning machine that is going to be replaced, and they replace the tuning machine with a new one, but the holes don't match. And for amateurs like us, we try to figure it out ourselves. This is not something that we should attempt to do. We should definitely bring it into a professional to make those adequate adjustments. The next thing was a pickup, which is we replace pickups if you've done that before in electric guitars. But new routing and through the body or through the pickguards, that can get a little tricky. If you're not into electronic wiring and things like that, it gets a little difficult. The next I've had actually happen, I had a Epiphone Casino. It was on stage. Someone walked by. They tripped over a 1/4 inch. The guitar fell down face down, and the neck hit in such a way against the nut that the headstock just snapped. And I picked up a guitar, and the headstock was just literally just dangling. I was so traumatized. I did think to myself that I could do it. I could get some glue. But I brought it to a luthier here in the Tampa Bay area, and he fixed it. He actually made it stronger. The glue that he used is actually stronger than the wood. I have no idea what kind of glue it was and how to set it. So I gave it to him, and I totally agree, Dave. You're right. That is a big repair job that we probably should leave to someone. A couple other things I see on the internet as well that Dave was speaking into, that he gets a lot of these guitars. They're parts guitars, or Stratocaster or a Telecaster, basically with a mismatched parts, and taking a neck from Amazon or some other retailer and putting that together and bolting it onto another body. Now, you can do that, but it does take some specific understanding of the way that is supposed to be put together. I have here in a diagram where the placement of the neck, whether higher or lower, really does make a difference. And sometimes you have to shave the neck down, or you have to create a cavity for the neck to be able to be received for a bolt-on neck. And you only get one try at doing it. Better leave that to someone else. Also, what's really popular is Relic Finish, where guitars are made to look old or look older. Leave that to someone else, especially with your nicer guitars. You could probably try it on a beater of a guitar and just take it outside and hit it with chains and scrape it, whatever. But if you really want to make that look nice, it's probably better left up to a pro. Just wanted to share that with you. Thank you so much, Dave, from Dojo Guitars. I have a video here I'm going to show you. This is his new pickup that he just put in a guitar. He actually has his own PAF pickups that he's designed, and I think they're fantastic. So you can follow him on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to put the links down below. Also, you want to make sure that you add some comments here in the bottom. I'd love to hear from you some repairs that you've done, some successes, and maybe some things that you tried, and maybe a couple stories of things that didn't go so well. We want to be players, but we want to also play what we feel. Thank you so much for joining. Here's a couple other videos for you to learn a little bit more about guitar. And thank you so much for watching.